this video, I'll show you where you can acquire the Crystal Staff melee weapon in Remnant 2's The Forgotten Kingdom DLC. Now, in order to acquire the Crystal Staff, you're going to need to find a biome called the Infested Abyss, which will be present on your one-shot adventure. However, if you've re-rolled, you then need to go off and find the Infested Abyss, which is usually just past the Glittering Grotto starting point. Make your way up the first hill, go around to the right, mantle up the ledges, jump through the waterfall, very similar to where you found the Trinity crossbow. Link below the like button for how to do that one. Make your way through the biome gate. Hopefully it will be the Infested Abyss. If it isn't, re-roll and try again until you manage to find your way into the abyss, and then follow the path all the way down, rest at the mini checkpoint, and then basically drop down into hell. Now what you're going to be doing down here is taking on 3 Root Nexus, which are going to spawn a lot of special enemies, both from Root, Earth and Yaesha. You're also going to have a ton of normal enemies to take down along the way, so equipping your best gear, build and relics is essential for survival. If you do take down a Root Nexus and you die, it will stay dead, thankfully. So just keep progressing through, keep pushing forward until you've managed to take all 3 Root Nexus down. And then once you've dropped down past the 3rd and final Root Nexus, you're then going to be able to see a coffin over to your left, like a sarcophagus, which will hold the Crystal Staff melee weapon. Now, the Crystal Staff is a very, very good weapon at level 1, and at level 10, it absolutely decimates the field, as it's got a baked-in ability called Power Stone, where charged melee empowers the staff for 10 seconds, which then causes melee attacks to launch an energy bolt that seeks enemies within 30 meters, dealing 50 shock damage, and grants 1 stack of Power Stone, which will give you a maximum of 10 stacks. So whilst empowered, charged melee attacks cause a 6 meter shockwave, dealing 75 shock damage, and ends your Power Stone. For each Power Stone stack built when ended, you release 1 energy bolt that seeks a random enemy and applies overloaded for 10 seconds, dealing additional shock damage, and you've also got a mutator slot. Now, fortunately, unlike some smaller weapons in Remnant 2, the Crystal Staff is fairly big, which means you've got a much greater range than what you normally would have. Now, melee builds normally aren't too worried about range. However, if you can keep an enemy at bay even by a meter or so, it usually avoids you getting a slap in the face whilst you're cracking someone around the skull with your own Crystal Staff. The fact that this thing can deal shock damage as well, if you chuck a mutator on that boosts the amount of shock damage you can do, you're going to be absolutely ripping through the field, be it normal enemies or specials. Bosses, as usual, melee builds aren't really the way to go. However, if you need to reload and the boss is on low health and a couple of slaps will do it, you could do a lot worse than equipping a fully maxed out Crystal Staff. So that's a look at where to acquire the Crystal Staff melee weapon in Remnant 2's The Forgotten Kingdom DLC. If you're a fan of these quick, straight to the point guides, subscribe for more, and I'll see you on the next one.
Hey, trespasser! You die!
This ain't looking good.